Where do you see AI in education tech that is disrupting the world today? Where do you see this tech, AI, robotics, everything in education? What are the challenges and opportunities as education leaders, as teachers we have?
I think AI will definitely disrupt that. It will disrupt those SaaS companies. So the disruption might happen mostly at the tech space. There are some countries in the world that are making AI literacy mandatory for teachers. People need to spend a lot more time understanding how LLMs work, understanding how their own thinking works, and then trying to do that human machine integration.
Give me 5 tools, AI tools that the teachers for today to prepare for their teaching starting from now. The top 5 AI tools that you suggest. Do you think the teacher training in this country requires massive change? The teacher trainers teaching the professors in B.Ed colleges, they have not taught in schools.
B.Ed colleges are definitely improving. I've personally spoken to a lot of B.Ed college principals, and the way their curriculum has improved, the way their interventions have improved, the program duration has changed, the breadth of the program has changed, the design of the program has changed. These are all things that are going to help get teachers more prepared and more primed for the kind of education system that's going to be available inside a school. So I think that that is a problem that is currently being solved. But as I said, it takes time. The B.Ed courses are now 4 years. B.Ed courses are 2 years. These are all really stepping stones towards that end objective.
Where do you see AI in education tech that is disrupting the world today? Where do you see this tech, AI, robotics, everything in education? What are the challenges and opportunities as education leaders, as teachers we have?
I think a lot of disruption for that AI will bring in will end up wiping away many SaaS companies. So earlier it was very easy for a SaaS company to take one workflow, create one value-added product, like literally one value-added product, and then they could build an entire company around that, and then go visit the however 100,000 schools, more than 350,000 private schools in India, and then attempt to make a sale and build a business out of that. I think AI will definitely disrupt that. It will disrupt those SaaS companies. So the disruption might happen mostly at the tech space. The opportunity then might land up with the teachers and might land up with the educators. That in spite of these SaaS companies not being present, they would still be able to deliver what they would have if they had the SaaS company. So in some ways, I feel that all their barriers have fallen. Earlier they would have to wait for their managements to approve, invest, train, coach, guide, all that. But today, a teacher with the right knowledge of AI, the right knowledge of teaching, learning, with the right goals and the right motivation, will be able to do a lot more
at near zero cost. And investment is always the time.
Yeah. So what might happen is a reverse innovation. Literally, you may now start seeing that innovation will flow through the school from the teacher and not necessarily top down. So it might become bottom up. And that is what we need, right? We know the answer to education is teachers. We know the significant role that teachers play in this whole system. We know that end of the day, the transaction that becomes transformative, it's the teacher that makes a difference. Because the teacher is able to inspire, the teacher is able to elicit, the teacher is able to connect, the teacher is able to transform. So suddenly we are moving from systemic innovation to individual-led innovation, the teacher agency. And that merely is not just a vision or a dream, if only. Now it is when should I do it, right? Because it's accessible. So there are some countries in the world that are making AI literacy mandatory for teachers. That itself means that the world believes, some parts of the world believe that teachers with AI are able to solve for a lot of problems which otherwise needed very, very high level of resources to
I
solve.
think that is also helping the schools to transform from within, make the brand stronger without investing in outside companies and outside services and products.
Yes, because when schools invest too much in over the counter products, we tend to slowly become similar. And if there are, let's say, 100 schools in a small city, and if all those 100 schools are taking the same product in terms of maybe the same publishing books or the same systems or whatever, then you eventually ended up with 100 one type of school.
Uniform schools.
Yeah, and that again does not
It's like
cater
a
to
chain
the
of supermarket.
exactly. So it may not it may not cater to the different needs of people, right? Because people have different needs.
And the identity of the institution is also lost.
The identity of the institution is lost, and then you start competing as opposed to augmenting, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to compete, we want to augment, you know. Imagine you walk down a street and there are 10 Chinese restaurants and nothing else. So now everyone has to have Chinese food, and the only differentiation you may do may be in pricing.
Yeah.
You know, why do we want to get into perfect competition? So perfect competition as an economics concept is great in corporates where the decision is not that impactful, or the purchase decisions are not, as we say, high involvement decisions. These are low involvement decisions. Today I could buy this toothpaste, tomorrow I can buy that toothpaste, I can try between both toothpaste, and then, you know, end of the day I can go visit a dentist or whatever. I'm just saying that when these are life changing, transformative, formative services, these services you want people to have differences, real differences inside these services. Let there be 20 schools in one city, and all these 20 schools are optimized around a different goal, a different methodology, a different pedagogy. They all eventually may be reaching to the same destination.
Yeah.
But the way that maybe one school's focus more on music, and other schools focus more on discipline, other school is like, you know, then parents with their own ambitions for their own children can achieve them. They may have 3 kids, and all 3 kids could be in 3 different schools, because that's the school that works best for their kids. So I think we have to learn to dare to be different. We have to be comfortable with being the only school that is different here, whereby differentiation is not just a strategic marketing strategy, but differentiation is a result of our core beliefs of what.
Innovation and
Yeah.
thought process. I think AI is an enabler for teachers to regain their power to change or impact
Yes, AI has the potential to drop the cost of innovation. The cost
at a
of
cellular level.
at a cellular level, the unit economics is what is highly optimized with AI. So what happens is everything that was expensive before, like the experimentation, the piloting, the numerous errors, the trial and error, the time that you lost, the opportunity cost that you lost, right? All those things can be saved with AI. So what happens is it starts making the cost of innovation cheaper, hence gives you access to more innovation. But then the laws of economics kick in, that when it's easier and cheaper to do something, there is a possibility that a lot more of that thing gets done. And when that happens, that ceases to be looked at as innovation. And a lot more of that happens, so much that the only way to look like you're innovating is to abandon that and not use it, thus killing the whole purpose of it. So I think what we have to understand is, someone out there, I mean, the top AI companies or models have democratized innovation.
So it's for the school leaders to have a framework so that every classroom in this country needs to be kind of a startup incubator
Yeah.
for the teacher and for the student,
Yeah.
so that we promote innovation and also creating products, creating solutions, creating.
Exactly. It is now telling principals and school leaders that reduce the timeline, reduce the delay. If there was a project that you wanted to do and that required a certain amount of components to fall in place, be it data collection, be it primary research, be it secondary research, and if you needed X amount of time for that and you thought you would do this in 5 years, you can now crash that and you can speed it up and you can reprioritize those objectives and those initiatives, and you might be able to do a lot more. So of course you're going to have the problem of plenty, because now you can do everything. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Which means we need to now come back to that power of discernment, that understanding, and really being present to what's the context that I am in right now. Who are these parents in front of me? Who are these children? What are their unique needs? And how can I solve for their unique needs? That has to be the case, because now we are talking about hyper personalization.
Yeah.
You know, we want to talk about hyper personalization. We want to talk about using larger systems to help one person.
So schools are going to be micro schools in itself.
In itself, right? Led and centered.
Thousands of micro schools in one building.
Exactly. And it's led and centered around the teacher. So the teacher is now going to become the supreme authority inside the classroom.
The teacher is a school.
The teacher is a school. Exactly. It's the government has now come up with a new policy saying 1-person company, we'll have 1-person school.
I think we had a wonderful conversation. I think it's time to conclude with last question. Give me 5 tools, AI tools, that the teachers for today to prepare for their teaching starting from now. The top 5 AI tools that you suggest for the teachers of this country.
I feel like ChatGPT,
Prompt
Gemini,
engineering.
Yeah, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, DeepMind. These LLM tools, Llama, these LLM tools, no matter where you're using them, you want to spend maximum time on that first.
Okay.
Because it helps you learn, it helps you do, it helps you extend your thinking. And it's like getting a personal executive assistant. It's like getting your digital maid. It's like getting your digital twin, right? So a lot of people need to spend a lot more time understanding how LLMs work, understanding how their own thinking works, and then trying to do that human machine integration. We feel like human machine integration is only present now with AI, but think of a guitar and or think of a tabla maestro.
Even a pen.
Think of a pen. Yeah. Imagine I'm looking at you right now and you're wearing glasses. That's an amazing example of human machine integration. You got the right glasses, with the right, measurements and the right tweaking, and you become more productive. So that is the first set of tools. And then the other set of tools will be things like Gamma for presentations, or you could use a lot of integration tools like Make. Make allows you to create agents, Pabbly for integrating between things.
Now they have to think beyond the prompt engineering and start creating agents.
Yeah, and you'll be able to create agents only if you start understanding data flow and information flow. How does data flow from here to there? How does information flow from here to there? Because data flow and information flow are two different things. So understanding the spread out network effect or network diagram, understanding how different components come together to form one unified system. So Make, Pabbly, Zapier, these are all like tools that they should learn so that they can make agents. And I love HeyGen. So HeyGen is a brilliant tool that allows you to create videos. So teachers who you don't need to have the resources of multiple cameras, lights, a full-fledged production team. You can use your phone to start creating all those videos that you want to create. In reality, I think AI is like putting a jetpack on a teacher.
Iron Man suit.
Yeah, like an Iron Man suit on a teacher. It might not be, waterproofing the building. It's in some way completely empowering the teacher. That's why I love it
At the atomic level.
at an atomic level.
And I think that's also giving a clarity on what education is. When you're learning LLMs, you have LLMs in front of you in the classroom. That's what you're training. The students are virgin LLMs
Yeah.
that you train on, and then you prompt them. And looking at the workflows, you are seeing the school as a data flow. And then I think that's where the leadership training happens. I think this is also a foundation building for the teachers to become school leaders. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Looking
Absolute
forward
pleasure
to
talking to
more
you.
of these conversations.